You know how fast you were going?
What?
How fast you were going?
65.
63.
Officer, isn't the speed limit 65?
Yeah, it is.
Are you the police?
No, ma'am. We're musicians.
Take this camera. I want to document everything.
Freddie, what do you like to do?
I don't know. Burn stuff.
Have you been drinking again?
I don't puke when I drink.
Anyway, that's when I learned that Quaaludes and water skiing do not mix.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash down?
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming.
Shall we play a game?
You're listening to Standing in Fire. All right, everybody, welcome to Standing in Fire. It's just another episode. I'm about ready to haul butt 4,000 miles in the best RV that $8,000 can buy. That's right. It's time for the Standing Fire podcast. I'm Boom. I'm joined by Tess and Militus tonight. Are we ready to do this or what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just surprised that you remember the name of the podcast. I thought for a second you were going to say Precursorcast.
Yeah, me too.
I was.
Well, yeah.
I thought you were going to call it that close, Boom.
And I thought it was going to go into the precursor music.
It was actually a couple different things. If you didn't notice, it was the intro was kind of a big deal gaming, and then that rolled into the precursor like wind up. Remember, I used to say wind up.
Yeah.
And then that led into this. I decided to just kind of mash them all up.
That was awesome.
You know, all the mashing of parts and the bits that all fit together, and that's what we did. We had a good time because what we're doing, guys, in case you're wondering, is that for the next couple weeks, well, next like 6 weeks, I am going to be in an RV, and because of that, the Dell Optiplex is not going to be around to record this shindig. And without the Dell Optiplex, without the Dell Optiplex recording this shindig, it doesn't happen. So what we decided to do is we're going to roll out every, Wednesday and Sunday. We're going to have a new episode of the old episode of the Precursor Cast that we're going to air. So a lot of people I know are trying to figure out what to do in between waiting for Pantheon and maybe like before WoW Classic or any of these other things are kind of coming out. Like we're in a lull period here where there's not a lot going on. And Guild Wars 2 is one of those good options. So if you're thinking about starting up with Guild Wars 2,
it's a good one. Then
this is kind of cool because you can play along with us as we started up in Guild Wars 2 and kind of play together. And so it's kind of a fun thing. It's a neat time. So that'll be on the air for you, and I think that'll be good. And besides, we don't really have a lot of news or anything anyway. So this is all just kind of something I think that'll work pretty well. First things first, though, it is Hot Air Balloon Day, so happy Hot Air Balloon Day to everybody. I hope you all got a ride in a hot air balloon.
Up and away.
Okay, hold on. Tess, Boom.
What?
Have either of you ever been up in a hot air balloon?
No.
They're all over.
You lived
here.
in Arizona for a while. Certainly you have.
Colorado's got them up constantly, but no, I've never done it.
Mm-mm.
I've never have either. Man, we need to all live a little bit. Come on.
Yeah. What should we do? Should we bungee jump out of one?
I'd rather go skydiving. Can we go skydiving instead?
Have you done that, Militus?
That would be fun.
Have you skydived?
I'm not. I've never skydived. No. I'd love to, though. I'd love to try it.
I'm willing to just compromise here, and I'm just saying let's all ride a roller coaster in Dollywood together.
Yeah, we could do. There's one called the Wild Eagle. It's one of my favorite roller
See,
coasters
there you go.
ever.
Wild
It's
Eagle.
great.
Tess is going to be there. Militus is going to be there.
I'll
I'm going to
try.
be there.
I'm gonna try. Don't make promises for me.
Tess, you're going to be there. He's speaking it into existence.
Yeah, it's so easy. Tess, there's either do or don't do, right? It's basic Yoda.
Yeah. No try.
There is no
try. Did I tell you this? Did I tell you this? When I won Teacher of the Year last year, I had to write a philosophy of education, and it was so lame. I'm like, no one is going to read my philosophy of education. So I literally just wrote like my philosophy of education was like 4 tenets, and they were all like Yoda quotes.
Yeah. Just go. That's great. I love it. Well, hot air balloon day is one thing, and we probably will try to ride in a hot air balloon, which is what reminds me of Dollywood, because Dolly Parton and balloons. Tess, can you tell everybody how to get a hold of us?
Oh, sure. Me. All right. You can visit our website at stopstandinginfire.com. You can email us at stopstandinginfire@gmail.com. You can tweet us as a show at SIF Podcast. You can hit up Boom at Boom Tap Live, Militus at Old Militus, or me, Tess, at Debuff This. We are live on Twitch Wednesdays, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific at twitch.tv/standinginfirepodcast. But don't forget, we are going on a little sabbatical. But that is where you'll be able to watch our reruns on Wednesdays and Sundays. Is it going to be the same time, 10 Eastern?
I don't know. I'm just going to tell it to do it. I'm going to tell the computer, whatever the computer wants to do. You know what I mean?
Or you could also call or text us at
702-625-1337.
That spells leads. Hell yeah.
All right. There we go. We've got the lead line working. Everything's functioning. I think it's going to be a pretty good show, even though we don't have a whole lot to talk about. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and roll into
when
this.
is Alpha going to take place?
This game
when
never
is
coming out.
Remember that
episode?
Hey, you better not make the game too hard, I'm telling you. If I have to play this game and actually see it, people put us in
Pantheon patient.
All right, it's time for Pantheon Patient. This is where we talk about all the things we are doing instead of playing Pantheon, because you can't play it. Even if you wanted to, you can't do it. You are not able to. It's not possible. You just can't do it. So, Tess, what have you been doing? Because Pantheon is impossible right now.
Well, I played some ESO because Elsewhere just came out. And so I've been playing some ESO.
Oh, I want to get the lowdown here now. Come on, don't just gloss over
you got
it.
You can't. I got to know about
Yeah,
it.
have you played the Necromancer? Do
Yes.
you like the new content? Like,
I
give
do.
us the details. Give
Okay,
us the-
okay. Shut up. I will. Okay.
Come on.
So
Come on, bring it. Let's
I
go.
need it.
Come on. We want it.
I loaded it up. I haven't played any of the new content yet. But because I was just trying to figure out how to remember how to play. And I've always been like, I'm gonna finish this content before I do this content. That's kind of how I play games. And I'm stuck. So I need to call Mama Tess to get me through this content so that I can get it. But the Necro was fun. I rolled one up, and man, it seemed to level quickly. I was just running around, just bam, 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 bam. So that was nice. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be playing a little bit more ESO for the foreseeable future. But last night I played some HOTS. I played some HOTS with Minus and Baz and Nathan and Haya, and we failed spectacularly. It was wonderful. Why is my camera being weird?
Did you guys go against another live team, or did you play against a PvE?
No, we played against people.
Ooh,
And
okay.
yeah. And so we played we won the first game, and then we lost all the rest of them.
That's okay. You started out on a great foot, and,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
And Baz is actually a really good player. Like he plays a lot. And so he was kind of our lieutenant. He would tell us where to kind of go and things like that. And it was so cute because Nathan had never played a damn second of it. Like not at all. He didn't even have a number.
I'll say this.
Full 0.
I didn't get to see it, but live. But I did watch part of it today, and the part I did watch, I laughed out loud at Nathan because boom, we set it up for you.
Yeah,
they were going to kill this boss. Maybe it's the one you actually won, Tess.
I think it was the one that we won.
And Tess was healing apparently with her class.
I was Lieutenant Rouse.
Nathan is dying, like he is dying. And he's standing right in the middle of this pool of goo. It's like green. He's just right in the middle of it. And at the very end of it, Tess is like, I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you. She's trying to heal him through it.
Yeah.
He barely survives. And then the whole team just starts chastising him. Like, yeah, when you usually stand in red circles.
Well, I think it was Baz.
Doesn't usually work out for you.
I think it was Baz that said something like, "It's just like an MMO. Don't stand in the red circle.
Don't stand
in the fire."
Yeah,
come on, Nathan.
It's right there on the website. Don't stop standing in fire.
Great, dude. He did awesome for just jumping into it. I was shocked. I thought he was going to be dead all the time. He did great.
Hey,
well,
Byjax, thank you.
Looky there. It's Mr. Byjax.
Thank you, Byjax.
I got a special message for Byjax.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Oh, you do? Okay, you're gonna.
No. Because you skipped me, Boom. You skipped me on the notes, so I got something to say.
I see you right there. It says Militus, and then you put "I don't read show notes" is what it put.
No, before that.
Wait, I don't see anything. Oh, Militus has text read from his phone. All right, sorry, I didn't see that.
We'll do it right after this segment.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, we'll do it after our.
All right. Do I need to download some?
No. I got it. I can read it right from my phone. Right. No big deal.
All right. Militus, what'd you do to be Pantheon patient?
I did. Thanks, Tess. Thanks for the
anytime.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Oh, there it comes. There's another one. Maybe I should do it too, huh? I might crash the entire. I might crash the. Yeah, I might crash the entire thing.
Oh my god!
Go ahead.
This is awesome. All right, so this ties into kind of Byjax's text message he sent, but I'll talk about that separately in a minute. As I mentioned last week, I did resubscribe to World of Warcraft.
That's okay.
I don't even blame you. I was talking about it. I was gonna do that too. I did resubscribe. I mean, I played a little bit more of Divinity: Original Sin. The control scheme of that game, I'm still trying to get used to. It's a little different for me, but I'm playing through. I'm out of the starter area. I'm in the zone after you leave the starting area. That's where I am right now. But I jumped back into WoW and did some like dailies, no big deal. But I was very interested last week because they had the Warlords of Draenor time walking. Now, when you say WOD, that usually puts a really sour taste in people's mouth, right?
Well, I think not because of some things. I think like garrisons and the timing of release kind of
lack of content.
Yeah. But so, it was a fun expansion.
The dungeons, I always thought I loved the dungeons.
The dungeons were pretty good.
Really good.
Yeah,
they were good. So I ran 5. They had the weekly thing where you run 5 and you get a piece of gear and all that. So I ran 5 as Shadow Priest, DPS. And then, of course, after I ran the 5, the guild's like, hey, good to see you back, Militus. Why don't you come heal some time walking? So I swapped over to my healing discipline spec and priest. And I ran 5 more just to help Trancer get some gear. And it was kind of good to play again with art. Played it with some guildies. So I had a lot of fun doing that. That was kind of my Pantheon patience, playing a little bit of WoW, a little bit of Divinity: Original Sin. Those two are my
Are you enjoying the story of Divinity?
So far, yes, but I haven't gotten far enough in it, I think, to fairly judge it.
What companion did you grab? Who's with you? Because you have to let 2 of them die, right?
I haven't. Have I grabbed? I didn't grab one in the starter area. I don't remember grabbing one in the first part of the first zone. Maybe I'm not far enough in.
Well, let me put it this way. When you were on the boat,
I left the boat already.
okay,
Gone.
when you were on the boat, you had to pick a party, and whoever you didn't pick died. Who was in your party?
Oh, yes. Now I know who you're talking about. Shit. Who was it? There were only 2 choices, yes?
No,
Or
there were
3?
6, and you picked 4.
Oh God, then maybe I skipped this part. Because there's no way I'll remember having picked 4. Maybe I left early. Maybe I left the tutorial.
Maybe I'm getting my games mixed up.
Because I climbed the ladder and left the ship. Like I'm completely gone out of that area. I'm in the next area.
Okay. Well, I don't recall.
Well, let me find. I tell you what. Well, we can't report back because we're gonna have a cast next week. But I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know. I'm not sure. So I'm still soloing it right now. So maybe I'm doing it wrong, Tessie Poo.
I just have to remember because I'm getting.
This is Divinity Original Sin 2 you bought me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
I think I'm getting it confused with another one. So
I
don't
never
worry
even
about
played
it.
the first one, so I don't know if there's a difference.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to make you go off on a rant there.
No.
I thought that was great though. I actually been
It was
thinking
fun.
about playing WoW again. So when you went back to WoW, how did it feel?
Mhm.
Like, what was it like? An old girlfriend?
Yeah.
What was it
Oh,
like?
that's
Was
what I'm
it
thinking
was it
of.
like an old girlfriend
It
that you broke up
felt-
with? Now you're getting back together, and it's kind of
Yeah,
awkward.
that's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
It's
a
your
big
goth
patch coming.
girlfriend.
It's my god, goth girls are hot. It felt the same. I mean, it was fun to kind of jump back in. It's a great game for what it is. You know, jump in, 15, 20 minutes of fun, get out. It's fine for that. I had some fun doing that. I had more fun reconnecting with some of the people
Oh, for sure.
I played
Yeah.
with in the past for sure. So that, and I am curious about the next big patch, which is coming, I think in mid-June.
June, yeah, mid-June.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
So
Are you
I'll
gonna
be ca-
raid on Mondays then?
If you come, I will.
I'm gonna raid on Mondays. When I get back
All
from
right.
my trip, I'm raiding on Mondays. I've already made that.
We'll do it together.
Tess is also raiding on Mondays. And possibly Nick
She's
is going
gonna
to raid
tank
on
it.
Mondays. So we got 4 of us already that are ready to raid on Mondays. But I already prepared the guild that I want to raid normals. I don't want to raid crazies. So
Yeah, me either.
So
kind of done with that too. Yeah.
I just, it's just not my thing. Well, that's awesome. I actually,
it was fun.
A couple months ago, I might have been down on that, you returning. But I'm high on it right now, and I prefer my stock to increase. And so, I need you to keep bumping that stock price up for me.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. You're gonna need some more
now
some more suckers like Militus to come back.
Day in chat is doing shame with the bells.
Yeah,
like
I know.
in,
I know.
Have you seen that scene?
Oh
where
no,
that
he
comes
doesn't. He
from?
doesn't watch it. He doesn't watch Game of Thrones.
It's one of the most like
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
scenes. Yeah, and it's that's where it's from. So you just
Shame.
gotta know.
But
Yeah.
it's funny that the like keeping your sub. Like I've kept my ESO sub up this whole time that I haven't
Wow.
played, and so I go in and I have like 20 grand of the in-game like the
You
currency.
could buy like every
I could
expansion
buy
ever.
anything I wanted.
That's
No,
kind
you
of
know
fun,
what,
though.
Tess? I'm gonna tell you something. I think that's not a bad thing. A lot of people will chastise you for that, but if you believe in a developer, then I think you should stay subbed. I really do. I don't think there's even like there was a time in Warcraft when I would stay subbed and not play the game because I believed in the team. The reason I dropped my sub before was
Yeah, because
part because I wasn't having fun and part because I didn't believe in the team.
Yeah.
You didn't
So-
believe in the business practices that they were involved in at that moment.
Yeah. That was it. And so we're kind of, I mean, I'm back. I'm kind of feeling it out. And really, I'm waiting for, I definitely will play Classic for sure whenever I want.
You are going to play Classic?
I am.
I am
Definitely.
too.
I just don't
And I
know.
have a buddy that's gonna play with us too. So
You guys are going to peer pressure me into Classic, and I don't know if I'm ready for that sort of thing.
whatever, you peer pressure me into every game ever.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey,
No
I've
doubt.
been peer pressuring you guys into the greatest game since 2010.
I'm gonna
and
get
you
it.
guys
I
have
Here we
not
go.
played
I swear to God.
Is it
Okay.
Pac-Man?
No, it's
Yeah.
Forza.
Is
Forza.
it?
It's Forza all the
Is
way.
it the Division 2?
I love Forza. Forza's great. I
Is
haven't
it
played the
Madden?
Division 2, but I am interested in playing the Division 2. Have you played any?
I
of the
heard that
Division
it. I heard that it.
I heard it's actually really. I heard it
2?
was.
I've heard
good.
it's pretty good. Yeah.
No, I heard it. I heard it.
I
thought it
heard
was
they
good.
fixed
Oh.
a lot of what Division 1's problems were.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
And so, and I think that's the case with some of these games that are trying to get these bigger, more open worlds kind of all put together. I think they try some stuff, they kind of miss it, and then the next iteration is like better. You know what I mean? They like really figure it out. I think that's what's going on there. So that's awesome. Well, I killed every cultist in Assassin's Creed. That's right. I wiped them all out. Which, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see. I posted the picture. I got them all. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And that got
In
me
one
to the
and fell
end.
swoop, or it, like individually, you just killed them.
I have to go. It took 130 hours to do that.
Oh,
But I
that's
got
good.
them all.
That's good. That means you're having that much fun.
Oh
Yeah.
my
That's awesome.
gosh, I had so much fun. And Militus, let me just tell you, the ending is made for you. Do you want me to spoil a little
Is
bit
it?
of it?
No.
No,
No,
no.
don't
Hold
spoil
on.
it, don't
You're not
spoil
gonna
it.
play
Just
it.
feel your whole. Hold
I
on.
am so.
So, Tess, I just have to ask him one question. Is this what fueled your lost question on Facebook?
A little bit.
Did the ending of
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed?
I'm gonna not listen.
Yeah, a little bit. And I already
Okay,
told
okay.
Tess. I already told Tess at lunch. I didn't spoil the ending, but it's this. It's this cool combination of. So you know what is ancient Greece known for?
Sex
Okay,
Philosophy,
philosophy.
and philosophy and
Okay.
sex.
But
science.
philosophy is kind of a science, right? But what else are they known for? They're known for all of their gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this whole thing is this expedition through this pantheon of all these different gods and things like that. But the whole game is basically breaking all of that up to get to science. I mean, so I'm in one of the zones, and I hit on the guy to talk to him, the NPC. It's my good buddy Pythagoras.
Really?
Pythagorean theorem. He was like, "Hey, I just got these. I need these 4 mathematical principles. It's going to change the world." The end of the game is all about moving away from the Pantheon into this new era. It's absolutely masterful. It's masterful. So I don't know. For what it's worth, I think it's really, really worth a play. Just for the whole culture of it all. They just made something cool. That's all I can say. I'm enthralled by it. But
Well, I will
that's what
play
did.
it. I just haven't yet.
You know what else I'm excited about? E3. It's like my favorite time of the year. I'm telling you, the beginning of June is so much fun because
It's
all
like
of
your
the new
Christmas,
games.
right, Boom?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So tomorrow, Google is going to announce Google Stadia. And they're going to talk all about costs and what that's going to be like. I'm very excited to hear about that because I think that is the future of gaming. I don't necessarily know that Google's version is. I think it's going to be a battle between Google and Microsoft in this one. But it's really exciting to kind of see we're going to be moving away from consoles and maybe even hardware altogether. It's kind of
Maybe
happening.
so.
It's
Big
kind of happening.
paradigm shift in gaming.
Yeah, we're going to
if
have a
that's the case.
huge paradigm shift coming up, which is going to really be just weird. It's going to be weird, but it's coming, and it actually is a good thing though if you think about it. One of the things that's happening right now is everybody's making their games for mobile, right?
What are you laughing about?
I'm getting texts, but I can't read them yet until we get to
okay.
the text.
Everybody's
I'm sorry.
everybody's going mobile, right? With everything because that's where the money is. What Google Stadia and these streaming services mean is that we might get deep, big, awesome games again because they'll be able to have a mass audience. So it could be very, very cool for us, and it means less hardware upgrades. So Militus won't have to drop more coin on great new gaming laptops anymore. And that means the Dell Optiplex might have a lot more life left in her than we
My
know.
wife will be very happy about that. She'll
Yeah.
be very,
What
very
would
happy.
happen if the Dell Optiplex will run all the games in 8K using Google Stadia?
8K. It wouldn't. I have to give the big props to the Dell Optiplex tonight, because when you played the Coltrane Sounder, it did not even hiccup at all.
No,
it
didn't.
was smooth as butter.
It's running good tonight. She's feeling good. And the fact of the matter is this,
purring like a kitten.
this Dell Optiplex is going to at least run 4K gaming right from Google. It will do that. That's amazing to think about, that this little bad boy can run 4K gaming.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? I might have gone to the office complex and got the last gaming PC I ever need.
Oh, God. I somehow doubt that very seriously, but we'll see.
All right.
I think it'll take years for this new technology to take place.
I do think we're about 5 years out. I do think we're about 5 years out, but that's okay. Okay, let's do phone calls and tweets since I missed them, Militus.
Okay. Yeah, no problem at all. So first, I want to back up for a second before I read any of these texts and say, I know people in our audience have been really wondering about Redneck Gamer 4570. You know, the racist,
I have for sure.
bigot.
That was awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I told Boom earlier today, I was certain, I thought for sure I was going to get him on a voice recording interview today.
Okay.
Little did I know he's at SeaWorld of San Antonio. I swear to God, I am not making that up. He's at SeaWorld of San Antonio. Boom didn't even think there was one in San Antonio.
I didn't think there was one.
There is one in San Antonio. There's one in Florida. There's one in San Antonio. So Redneck Gamer 4570 could not make the interview. I was really, really hoping to get it done today. When we come back, I promise I'll get him on. As scared as I am to actually have that conversation with him, I am I'm also I know that a lot of people want to hear more from him. So that's coming.
All right.
But beyond that, let's go to our text messages. I'm going to start
Please.
with our friend Byjax, who's in chat with us this evening.
Fantastic, Byjax.
And his first text was not really a question, but more really of a statement.
Okay. All right.
And it aligns a lot with what Day was saying earlier. He said, and I quote, "You should all be ashamed of yourselves for playing WoW again."
Yes.
Byjax.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. That's the statement from him there.
At first you do feel shame, but then you get over it. Right?
And I know why he feels so I know why Byjax feels so passionate. And he left more so, and he can certainly correct me in chat, but he left more so the game because of the way Blizzard had treated those employees that were let go. And I respect that. I respect if you want to take I've always said, vote with your wallet. If you really dislike the way a company's being run, just don't give them your business. And I get that. I respect that. He sent a second text tonight
that says he's playing WoW.
He said, "I'm starting a rumor that you were all quitting Pantheon podcasts to go back to WoW podcasting because you're all sellouts."
We are kind of sellouts. I love it.
So,
yeah, well, for what it is.
Yeah, that's not happening, my man. We're not going back to podcasting about WoW.
No.
The community here in Pantheon's far too amazing. I don't care if Pantheon takes another 3 years to be produced.
It's 5 years out.
Here is amazing. Yeah.
Tess and I talked about it. We decided it's 5 years out. I'm not trying to be mean, but we decided. I mean, realistically, they're getting money. They built.
You're saying I have to podcast with you guys for the next 5 years?
Yeah. They built a proof of concept, and now they got to build it. And so I think they're 5 years out. So that's okay.
Oh, and Byjax bluest kisses in the chat. Thank you, Byjax. Even though you call the sellouts.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We appreciate that. All right, so we had another text, and this text is from our good friend Drac, who has texted us before.
Yes.
And Drac has a question for us.
Mm-hmm.
Drac asked, "What do you guys think about instead of stat increases for the progeny system, that instead it opens up available race class combos one per max level tune you sacrifice. I don't understand the Drac sacrifice, but I'll read it one more time. What do you guys think about instead of a stat increases for the progeny system, instead that it opens up available race class combos?
So that just reminds me of SWOTOR. That's what SWOTOR did. When you max leveled, when you finished the main storyline quest for your for what you were, you unlocked your race, and you could play your race as any class on any faction. Yeah, that's fine. I don't, and by sacrifice. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's amazing. Thank you.
By sacrifice, that's where okay, I could be wrong, and I probably am, but I think the way that it works is you can retire your character and start over, like with a new one. So you don't play that character anymore.
I got you. Okay.
So you could almost think of it like, for example, like in Diablo, like if I beat everything on Torment 1, then I retire my whole character and I start it over again on Torment 2. But I have all these extra cool, awesome bonuses.
Right.
So I believe that that's what he means by that. I just think that there should be, it's going to have to be a pretty damn sweet carrot for me to retire a character after I've grinded it up all the way to max level. You know what I mean?
What if they just add age?
I do.
What if your character just gets old and then the stats just kind of debuff over time? Like it hits, let's say it hits 45 and it starts to be about 25% body fat. And once it hits about 25% body fat and about 45 years old,
that hurt.
It just sort of starts, it starts to decline a little bit. And so you kind of want to trade it in on that newer, younger version.
Yep.
No, you're gonna.
Way to hurt me, Boom.
It's. I mean, don't you agree, guys? Don't you guys agree with me? Like, can you imagine retiring your max level WoW tune to get to start all over again with a buffed version and have to do the whole thing again?
Well, here's the only problem I have with. I think it's a fantastic idea if there were unlimited funds in the budget, but there's not. And Drac, I would just say this. So they have to be really careful about their race class combos because those all demand certain animations.
Yeah.
And Pantheon's operating on a tighter budget than a AAA, and therefore, the idea again, I love it, love it, but I don't know if it's really feasible given they're a startup, indie development company, and that means a lot more development, right? And still the same gameplay because you're having to develop all these race class combos, which it's again really cool kind of reward. But at the same time, man, I would rather see them work on like new zones, new dungeons, new raids, new areas for us to kind of explore. That's just my take on it. So what about you, Boom? What do you say to Drax's question?
I think I'm kind of like you. I love anything that adds a little bit of complexity because I love that deeper, complex gameplay where I have to kind of think about things and like how I want it to play out long term. I love that idea. But I'm kind of with you. I mean, this is a game that only really has portions of a couple starting zones built. They got a lot of work ahead of them, and I think just getting a playable game out is probably at this point like pressing. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get too fancy with it prior to it. I mean, I love that they might have a vision, but you also have to not go the WildStar route and kind of maybe go too far with it. You have to kind of rein it in a little bit and focus on the key tenets of the game, which is going to have to be gameplay. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't know what that's going to be like. I just don't know. Maybe they're already there. Maybe they're like way. Yeah. I just don't have any idea where they're at. So I couldn't be, very reflective of saying, hey, let's toss this in there. But I like the idea. Okay. I don't know. I don't get super attached to my characters. I don't know. Maybe I'm different.
If there
I
were
do.
unlimited fun, I do too. I'm gonna
I
test.
do.
I
There's-
get, yeah. I still
just
play
don't
the
know if
same
I can
priest
fit
in
it.
WoW that I did
Yeah.
in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you ever get one of those
Yeah.
little statues made? Where you get
no,
them
I didn't
printed?
play from the beginning. No, you had to play from the. Well, no, I didn't. But I did.
No, you know what I'm
chip
talking
in.
about.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I never got one made for me, but for my old guild leader back in Burning Crusade. His wife was a bitch. I think I told you guys the story.
Oh yeah, you told us that. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you the story.
You've
His
held
wife was a
no
total
bones about it.
bitch. No, she's a horrible. Yeah. Anyway, she made him quit the game.
Yeah.
And
right.
he was a great player. He played a paladin. His name was Dulos, because he gave up Mountain Dew to play WoW. And so we got a paladin statue made for him, but I've never actually got one for me. What about you, Boom? Do you have one of your shaman?
No,
or
but
your paladin?
I did it one time when 3D printing was all the rage. I 3D printed my paladin. So I do have a little 3D printed paladin that I did. But I don't have
Nice.
anything. I don't have anything that was actually like professionally made. It was like
Tess, what
early
about
3D
you?
printer.
No.
No?
Although no, I never did. But although I just chipped in on a Kickstarter to get customized minis of my D&D characters.
I would. You know
That's
what?
pretty
Now I'm
awesome.
thinking about it. Given I spent as many years playing World of Warcraft as I did, I think I'm going to do it. No, Boom.
Yeah.
I'm going to do
love
it,
it.
but
It's cool.
I'm going to do it with a specific set of gear. I want benediction. I want my benediction staff,
Which you can
for
do
my
that.
priest,
You know, you can select which gear.
which
you
I
want. Yeah.
worked my ass off
Yeah.
for,
Mhm.
and I want like tier 3, tier 4
Yeah.
gear
You
on my
can
priest with
select
the wings
exactly
and stuff like
what
that.
gear
Yeah.
you want when you.
I
print
would
that.
I would have to do something similar and do it with Toot, my hunter, my dwarf hunter.
Toot. See, I would love something like that to be in Pantheon. I would love for you to be able to create your character and then be able to sort of physically attach yourself to it somehow. Too many times video game companies kind of like shush that, but I think it builds a real loyalty to your product. It's it's cool.
No, it's Boom. Actually, I think your idea is straight up brilliant. Like if I'm at Pantheon and we know they're an indie studio, they need some funds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I do today. Today, I go, look, 3D printing's pretty cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
I create a pledge tier package that includes a 3D print of your main.
Oh,
But here's the
that'd be
deal.
Sweet. That'd
But
be
listen,
sweet.
listen. I would pay for it
That would be
anyways, Tess. I would pay for it anyway. Just add it to the pledge tier package, and I buy that shit today.
Yeah.
Right now. Tonight. And they get funding, and I get my little statue. We both win. That's the way I look at it. Sorry. I cut you off, Tess.
This is my Overwatch
No,
Legos.
it's just-
See,
That's
I'm
the
just
only
so-
Overwatch character I can play.
I love. Well, no, this is this kind of thing. Like, I mean, I don't play a ton of Overwatch, but this little Lego set is huge and it sits on my desk, and I love that kind of stuff. Like, I really do enjoy having some physical stuff from a game I love around me. I don't know what it is about that, but I do. I just love that.
Doom Turkey has a good idea. Why don't they we do like 3D maps of our faces, and you could import it onto your character.
Do you know why, Doom? Because my body
thought about
fat
that.
percentage is
Oh,
26%,
stop it.
Yeah.
and it's so high that I would look like a blob on my character.
Whatever.
So
there
it
we
wouldn't
go.
work
Stop
out.
it.
So
Oh my god.
there's certain limits to the fat consistency.
I
of a
can't even
human
come to
being
your
that I
house
wouldn't
now
be able
because
to-
now I can't. I will be so self-conscious walking around you because
Whatever,
Because you are
man.
fit.
Boom has had a rough couple
Whatever.
years, and his fitness program hasn't worked out for him, and he's had a rough couple years. And as I've gone through these rough couple years, I've put on a few pounds, and it's rough. It's rough out there, Militus.
It is rough, man. Hey, in your 40s, it's rough, anyways. For all the listeners that
Yes.
are trying to go and Google something called Bod Pod, BODPOD, Bod Pod. Oh, Milla jumped into Bod Pod for the first time this past week, and I left in shame because it revealed that my body fat percentage was a lot higher than I thought it was. Anyways, go check it out, Bod Pod. If you ever want to, you spend $20 to feel like a total.
I already know that I am not healthy, and it's thanks to all of this right
Oh,
here.
it's so bad. It's so
Man.
bad. So
You
I
just
got
wanna
more
drink
text.
mead with me.
Ooh.
All right.
I do. I definitely want to drink mead with you and not worry about body fat.
Militus. So I have 2 batches of mead I'm bringing. The first batch of mead is really high alcohol content. I'm already
I
selling
hope
my
you don't
speech.
expect to leave here with one batch because.
All right. Now
we'll be
the
drinking
other
both
batch,
that shit when you get
Now
here.
the other batch I've got, it smells like gasoline. That stuff is gotta be. I mean, we're talking. It is on fire. It's still good. It's great to drink, but I'm telling you what, it is. I mean, I gotta think. It might be 45% alcohol.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Shut up.
Militus and I
Oh, God.
Nick and I don't exactly know, but we know that this is strong and the other stuff is like woo over the top. So you drink a bottle of this and you know it.
Oh, I can't wait for you to get here, man.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely have to try some of that. At least we don't have to drive. You'll be parked right next to my house.
I'll be parked.
We can drink it.
There's no
and we're
driving.
good.
There's no nothing. I don't drink and drive. I stay a couple nights so that I have one night of that and one night of not. So we're in good shape. All right. Go ahead. Give us this next text.
Okay, so I got a couple more texts. So the next question came in, and I'm sorry, I don't know who sent this. I've responded to them before in the past, but I can't remember their actual gamer tag. But I asked the question: what is the incentive to explore and not just camp in a difficult MMO that has a harsh death penalty? Love you guys. Sorry, I can't chat tonight. So what is the incentive to explore and not just camp in a difficult MMO that has a harsh
We were
death
talking
penalty?
about this at lunch today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just it. You have to have a really good balance of being able to go out and explore and not having to just camp the same mobs over and over and over and over, because that does not encourage you to explore. And with all of the things that Pantheon has said that they want to do with exploration and the perception system and all that stuff, this is I cannot imagine that there is a way to marry that kind of play style where it encourages you to go out and explore and the camping the same mob for 20 minutes play style. I'm sorry, I can't imagine that's going to be something that is going to be in this game.
No,
Maybe a little bit of camping, but no, otherwise there's no reason to go and explore. And it has to be relatively.
I don't want to offend anybody and make anybody like sad so that they go home and cry on their pillow. But one of the things that I don't think any modern MMO can do is just try to relive the past. I think you have to be innovative. I think you've got to be fresh. You still have to create. MMOs have to evolve. They can't just stay the way they used to be, and that's one of the pressures I see Pantheon suffering with right now. Is that they are. All I hear constantly is make it just like EQ, make it just like EQ2, make it just like EQ, make it just like EQ2, and you can't just do that. And as I told Tess, and this might sound harsh, EQ didn't win out to World of Warcraft. So you should be saying make it more like World of Warcraft if you want the game to be popular enough that it's got enough funding to continue to go. And that's where I'm kind of at. I just don't want to see them just
can't
go
be like
old
either.
school.
It can't.
Yeah, it can't be like either.
It's got to be its own thing.
Not purely.
No.
No way.
No, it can't be. It can't be a.
You can take certain elements and incorporate them. Absolutely. You can make the leveling difficult. You can make all of that stuff. But it's like I was saying. So I made a Reddit post that got lots of comments this week. Tons. I think I'm up to like 75, 80 comments or something on there. And I was talking about the size of the worlds, and I was comparing it to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which got a little pushback from a couple people, and that's fine. The whole thing with this is that, you know, it's totally fine to push back. It's just a conversation. I mean, we don't know what any of this is going to be like. But I was mentioning that Assassin's Creed Odyssey is 120 essentially kilometers in either direction, so 120 square kilometers. And the original World of Warcraft zones were close to that. They were smaller, but they were close to that. So when you think of classic WoW, the zones were like almost that big. And with that size of zone, it always felt like I had some place to be and some place to explore, and there was always a new twist around the corner. I remember distinctly, after Tess introduced me to the game, purposely trying to push myself just so I could take a peek in the next zone, because I knew the zone was going to be vastly different. So, you know, you go from a forest to a desert to a, you know, some cool thing. And I just wanted to see the new zone so badly that it just pushed me to explore. But it was so creative and innovative at the time, and it was so massive. And I'm scared that MMOs are kind of like, nah, we don't need to make them massive. We just need to make a lot of instances, or we need to make a lot of things, because they went from having huge zones like that to the current WoW is only 12 kilometers. So it's a tenth of the size of Odyssey. That's tiny. And that's why it only took 6 hours to level there. And it took me 120 hours to level in Odyssey. And I want them to go back to gigantic maps. Gigantic maps. I think gigantic maps that have lots of character to them cause me to want to go out and explore. I want to see what's around the next corner. I want to know where the map goes. But if they take that away from me and they make it to where I just want to kill one mob over and over again, that's going to be kind of a darn
I can't
shame.
imagine that they will. And
Yeah, I don't think
because
so.
everything that they have said, every single thing that they have said has all been about exploring and finding new things and this, you know, large world.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's going to be, I think it's going to be less campy and more explorer-y.
Yeah, I mean, who cares if you have to?
Yeah.
You know, when you killed boars, right? And even Park or South Park made fun of that, right? That you kill a bunch of boars. You did so in a wide area. You went around and just kind of, you had like a route you took where if you were camping, you didn't camp in one spot. You went around and kind of camped all over. It was kind of fun. You were still moving. That's my point.
Well, you were given compass directions. Southeast of Dolinar.
Sure,
I'm gonna channel my inner night elf here for a second.
Yeah.
Southeast of Dolinar, you will find the great moths. Go slay 8 of them. You know, stuff like that. And you would just, you know, you would immerse yourself in the world. You would use your compass, start moving southeast till you found them. Whereas it wasn't like a little dot on your mini map.
Yeah.
Showed you
No,
where to
there
go kill
wasn't-
stuff. And I
there
think
wasn't
that's
anything.
what
Yeah.
Pantheon's going to bring us back to, is kind of, I don't know, the maps have to be amazing in size, but they have to immerse us. They can be moderate in size. I mean, if you really look at the maps of World of Warcraft, Boom, they're not big, but they felt big
The old ones were,
because
though. The old
there
ones were
wasn't
big.
quest. Well, okay, but like, go back and look at them today, Boom.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I know you think they're big, but if you go back and look at them, are they really that big?
Well, for the time, that they
Or
were
is
made,
it that your perception that they were so big because you were like, go find this cave next to a waterfall? You didn't have a mini map marker. You had to kind of look around, and
I'll
you were
give
walking
on
around
that.
looking at stuff. Come on.
I'll give on that, except for one of the things that just struck me so much when I played that game. And I mean, Tess knows, I used to call it the 8th wonder of the world, because I was like, I don't even know how they programmed it, because it was so giant. And I remember taking a griffin from Ironforge to Stormwind, which we look back on now and we go, well, that's not that far even, right? But when I took the griffin from Ironforge to Stormwind for the very, very first time ever, I had never seen anything that large in a video game before.
Sure.
And I was just blown away by that. It inspired me and captured me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm playing in a big zone right now in Odyssey, and I have that same feeling. That feeling comes back if they make it large enough. It really does.
I don't think you're going to have to worry. I don't think you're going to have to worry.
The zones look massive.
The
just
zones
from what we've seen.
look ridiculously huge. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I
want to walk a bit to get to my objective. I want to tootle on down the road a little bit. You know?
Yeah, and I don't think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be a nice balance. Is what I'm kind of from what I'm hearing from what they're saying and my inferences, and maybe that's just because that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting, but I don't know. That brings up a lot of good stuff.
Kind of staying on the same thread. We have one last text.
All right, go for it.
And it talks about this very issue actually, and it's again from Bijax. He says, "Actual question instead of shaming you all. WoW Classic is coming out ahead of Pantheon. What are the odds that Classic scratches the itch from most gamers wanting an old school MMO, and they never pick up Pantheon when it launches?
I don't think that'll happen.
It's my biggest fear for the game's success."
I don't think so, because I think there's such a large core group of people who are supporting this game that aren't WoW people. They're not going to go play WoW. They now if we were talking like there was going to be this fancy shiny new release of EQ,
bam,
then I'd be like, ooh, ow. But no, I'm not. I don't think that there's going to be a big and it's going to come out so far in advance of Pantheon that the new shiny might wear off.
True.
And we all.
But the only thing I've told you before, Tess, and I'll stand by it, is I'm telling you, man, if Burning Crusades launches,
oh yeah,
it's going to put a lot of pressure on me, because that's my baby. Like that's my glory. I know Booms is WoW is Lich King, but everyone who's ever played WoW has a moment or years.
And you and me are
definitely BC.
BC.
End of a classic. I'm not a big classic supporter like all these people are. No. I never played it, which is why I'm intrigued by it. I am intrigued by it because I never played it like
you didn't really. I mean, classic is fun. There just wasn't. It's.
I mean, it was more grindy. You just
that thing was a grind and a half, but I think WoW really took off with BC. So
yeah, I agree. What about you, Boom? What do you think about Bijax's question?
I think Bijax is smart, and I think this is something to be concerned about. And this is why I keep saying you can't make the old game, you got to make a new game. The old games have already been made. You've got to innovate. You've got to be able to find some niches. You got to find some gameplay that is different than these other MMOs. You shouldn't be aspiring to make something that has already come out. You've got to aspire to make something that modern people want to play. And I think we've evolved a little bit in our MMO gameplay.
A lot. We've evolved a lot.
I think so. And I think they've got to take note of that. And you have...
Yeah.
And that's why MMOs are so difficult to make. That's why so many people are like, nah, we're not even going to try. But I think there's so much room for that to happen. But you've got to let your team come up with really cool ideas. And I would love to, 10 years from now, be talking about all the new innovations that Pantheon created that now I'm attached to. I want to know about some new things, some things that we haven't even thought of that I can't live without in my gaming. And that's kind of what I'm excited for, with these new MMOs. I want to see people come out and really go for it,
you bring up a really interesting point when you say that I never really thought about it until you just mentioned it. I should have, but I never really thought about it. MMOs are really hard to make.
Yep.
But, and this is the big but. And a lot of people have been like shying away from a lot of game developers over the last several years shied away from the title MMO. They're like, we don't even want to be called an MMO because of the stigma attached to it.
Right.
But I think you bring up a really good point in that they are hard to make. But man, look at World of Warcraft. Okay, we were just talking about it. I mean, I played it for 12 years or so, since 2007. I played this, or 2006. Sorry, I played this game.
Right.
And think about all the money I've given Blizzard. If you can actually hit, not a home run, a double. I'm going to say, if you can hit a double, if you can produce a game that's got somewhat of a longevity, you will reap some serious financial rewards.
Serious. Yeah.
Look at Apex Legends right now.
Yeah.
Remember when it came out and it was like all the buzz and it was the top of Twitch? Look at it now. Like, not to say that it's shit or anything, but it's certainly not performing like it was way back 3 months ago or whatever it was, whenever it was leading the Twitch charts. So if you can create a good game, has solid mechanics that people will pay a sub to, pay money to monthly because it's good and solid, you don't have to worry about monetizing the shit out of it. You don't have to worry about fleecing gamers. Gamers will pay the way. They will pay. We will pay for a good product over a long period of time.
And sometimes I get criticized for being critical, but here's the thing, Militus. I pay $300 a year to play one of these games, right? I kind of expect a little more from it than I would a game I pay. I paid $20 for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm paying $300 for this game in a year. And I've been paying $300 for WoW for years and years and years, right? I want something for that money. I want to get that thrill, that fun out of that money. And I guess where Bryjax comes in, and I think his stuff is pretty good, is that if you just try to recreate the past, that's all your goal is, you're going to struggle and you're not going to
you're not going to be very successful.
You have got to
I don't
give
think
me
we're going to have to
something-
worry about it.
You got to give me something exciting. You've got to give me something that really draws me in. It makes me want to play that game. It makes me want to play it for hundreds and hundreds of hours. And I know that's the ultimate challenge for any video game designer right now. I get it. It's hard. And I get it, but risk versus reward. It's a business thing, right? If you want the big money, you got to really put out the big risks, and that's just the way it is. WildStar was this close to huge reward because they took the risk. And
I agree. Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You got to take a swing at the big reward if you want to get it. There will be a time in my life that some MMO dethrones World of Warcraft. It'll happen. Somebody's going to do it. But it's just when and who. And, I would love it to be a game like Pantheon. I would love that to be. But they're going to have to really focus on being innovative in order to do that, I think. I just don't think you can be the old game. Classic WoW is going to be awesome. It's going to draw people to it. You two are going to play it and drag me into it, and I'm going to end up playing it. But I can tell you, I love a lot of the things that new WoW brings. I just think there's not enough of it. I really think they just do it too small. I think current WoW has got so much going for it. The zones are too small. The questing is too fast. Everything is just too quick. And if they were to change a few of those things and learn from Classic a little bit, it would be impossible to dethrone them because they do innovate a lot of great things that I actually enjoy. And so, I kind of go back and forth all the time on World of Warcraft because I do love it so much. But I don't know. It's tough. I think that was a great
Tess,
text.
I do too. And Tess, you want to make the point you were making in chat to the listeners about Pantheon being Pantheon, kind of reiterating what Def had mentioned from
Def said, and this is what I really think. Def said it great. Pantheon is going to be Pantheon, and that excites me. If Pantheon were going to be anything except for Pantheon, I wouldn't want to play it because you know why? I've played all the other games.
Sure.
I've played Guild Wars and I played EQ2 and I played Vanguard and I played I played WoW and I played Secret World and I mean all of them. I played Neverwinter. I played them all, and there's a reason why I bounce between them, because I get bored with one and then there's something cool about another one that I want to go try, and so I go play that one for a little while. And there's a reason why why I have gamer ADD. And I think that Pantheon will not be a remake of anything. I think Pantheon will be Pantheon, and I think that they're smart enough to stick to their guns and make the game that they want to make, which is what we've always said. Boom, this is your big thing. Make the game that you want to play.
Make a fun game, and we'll all enjoy it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that I really think that they're doing that. So I mean, so at this point, I don't feel like we have to worry about, oh, is it going to be too campy, or is it going to be too this, or is it going to be too that? We can't say anything until the game comes out.
Yeah, we're judging it based on experiences that may or may not be comparable.
Sure.
Exactly.
We don't know. Yeah.
So
can I say one thing though to Tess's point? Tess, you did 100% map completion in Guild Wars 2.
Mm-hmm.
You got,
which is an amazing accomplishment. Which is
amazing. That is no laughable thing, right? Your interest waned once you hit 100%. I just don't think we can underestimate the need for a massively multiplayer online game to be gigantic. And I'm talking about, I would love to see them make a game.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would love to see them make a game that is bigger than any MMO we've ever seen. Like, just gigantic in scale. I would love to see that. And I know I'm the only one. Did you have any more text there, Militus, for us?
That's it. But I mean, let me say thank you. My word. This week
that was great.
We were
Everybody
like
chipped in.
slammed with text, which is great.
It's fantastic.
So thank you guys for interacting with us.
Now I want some phone calls. Somebody call me.
I had one thing.
Call me.
I did my segment again of I did tweets that Visionary Realms won't answer.
Oh God, what did you say to them this week? Oh,
all right,
shit.
so this week I said
you're gonna say something so inflammatory one week that all of a sudden they're not gonna talk to us. Boom. You have to
they don't talk to us anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, see, did you think of that? Okay, so here we go. I said at Visionary Realms, have you thought about a mobile companion that allows you to craft or manipulate inventory? And then I finished it off a little snarky. I'm not gonna lie, but we all have phones.
See, I like how in one text.
Did they at least laugh at it?
No, nothing.
I love that in one text you kind of poked fun at VR and Blizzard.
No, he didn't poke fun. He laughed with VR and then took a nice sucker punch right to Blizzard's sternum. Yeah, that's. I'm surprised they didn't at least laugh at that.
No, nobody laughs at that. Nobody talks.
That's Roth said. Someone just got Boom's alpha invite.
yeah, exactly. I was never getting an alpha invite.
You just lost your alpha invite, Boom.
But I don't play alphas or betas. I mean, you guys know that.
But you could give it to Zoltar. You could give it to Deathroth.
I would give it to one of those guys. If I got an alpha invite, it's going to somebody else.
Oh, Tess, whatever. You're going to be the first of all of us to get alpha.
Nuh-uh.
Yes,
I never get.
Oh, whatever.
I played beta in since Wrath of the Lich King, and which was much to the chagrin of Tess there because I got beta.
Because I never got in ever.
You'll get. Hey, Boom. Let's take bets right now. Of the three of us, Tess is getting it first, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, as sure as I'm 50% body fat, she's getting in. But no, I didn't mean this to be super snarky. I have always been waiting for an MMO that has some mobile aspect that I can enjoy, that is very cheesy mobile, that does something to my game. I would love to be able to farm materials or just do something for the betterment of my character when I'm sitting at the dentist office.
At work.
Yeah.
And
So I want to be able to sit in my dentist office. I just got a root canal.
It's a bad idea.
I haven't been able to eat for 3 days. I got this tooth right here. Got a big old.
That's a
root
lie.
canal.
We went to lunch today.
Boom.
It hurts.
Poor Boom.
It hurts so bad, and I would love to see them do something with the mobile space. I would love to see that.
Boom,
that's a
you
level
had
of
me at
innovation.
mobile.
Yeah.
You lost me at any action that causes you to be able to gamify the economy of the game.
Well, I think he was just making an example.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know
but
what
I'm
to
just
do.
saying-
I don't know. I want
Okay.
something that's awesome with that. I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's say that the mobile app only allowed you to do a couple of things. One, allowed you to look at calendar events for the guild. It allowed you to communicate with your guild, and that allowed you to, let's say, manage the guild inventory.
Well,
guild
the
rank.
WoW one.
Okay.
The WoW one.
That would be enough for me, but like going out gathering herbs,
I want
gathering
to go back to a
sources.
tweet though. A couple. I think it was you, Militus. It might have been a text where they talked about each race maybe having a game in their home city that you played. Like it would be really cool if because the Arkai are the coolest race, and the Arkai had like a surfer game that was like Candy Crush, and I just go on there and I do like an Arkai, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And I go through there and I'm like doing Candy Crush on there, and then I get like something for it. Or Militus's dwarves play poker, and you go on there and you get to play poker on the app, and then something happens in game. It just could be fun to interact with your character when you're not at your computer. It was always a thing in WoW that I wished I could do. I wished I could be a part of his world, my character's world, when I wasn't there.
You could do all of your garrisons.
Oh God!
Do you remember that?
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
But I'm talking more of
But
a
I mean,
game. I want an actual game that I can play on my phone that does something.
Day definitely pushes back against my comment, and he makes a good point. I'm gonna give it to them. He says, "Hey, access guild calendar, talk to guild. Hello, Discord.
Yeah,
it's on your phone.
Yeah,
Militus. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
man. Here's the thing. Like, and I want to respond to him for a second. Here recently, maybe the last week or two, I've actually kind of pulled back from Discord a little bit because I'm part of so many freaking Discords that it was overwhelming me a little bit.
I'm with you. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Zork. Thank you. I had to pull back, brother. I had to say, it was just like wearing my ass out, man. I can't. There's no other way for me to explain it. It was just getting too overwhelming, and I kind of pulled back from it. And so I feel like when I get on Discord, that oh yeah, no, I'm holding your beer, brother. 60 is crazy. I don't know how you manage that. I feel like when I get on Discord, and I do for the show with Boom and Tess, and I love talking to them. Nothing against them personally, but sometimes it's just nice to detach and just be Militus in the game. Yeah. And not Militus to every Discord I'm a part of. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yeah. Well, no, I totally get it. I'm 150% there with you, because I feel the same way, that, when I've got, and I feel bad because there's been situations, and I know it's happened to the two of you guys when you guys are trying to like talk to me on Discord, and I don't even look at it because all day all I get is constant, and sometimes I just want to be like, I don't want to talk to anybody today. I want to be, I want to read my book. Can I read a book today? I want, or something like that. But yeah.
Oh, speaking
I get
of which, speaking of excited, so on my trip, check that out.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey book.
This is 367 pages of good old Assassin's Creed I'm gonna be reading on the trip. I got this all planned out.
What is that? What?
It's a book.
What are we looking
It's a novel. It's a novel.
Okay.
So it's about
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's going to be very, very good. See right
Oh,
there.
oh,
It's
we're
got
getting a
some really
phone
good-
call.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. Phone call. Let's do it. There we go. Accept that bad boy.
Hello, caller.
Press 1.
Nope. I said 1.
I thought you did, yeah.
Oh shit! They're gone. No, call
Oh.
back.
Again.
That's so bad.
I mean, I press freaking 1.
I agree.
How hard is it? Come on, press 1.
I agree.
God damn it! I press 1. Shit. Hold on, they're calling back. They're calling back. They
I
feel
feel
bad.
like you pressed 1 many times.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, all right. They got this.
Okay, caller, are you with us?
I hope so, as long as you're going to answer the phone right.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
So it sounds like Bijax to me. Hello, Bijax.
Yeah. Hello, guys. So Tess wanted someone to call in. So I've got a good hypothetical for you guys, and I'll give you mine first. But Boom said there's going to be an MMO that will destroy WoW at some point. So give me that MMO. My MMO would be an MMO set in the world of Critical Role. And I know Tess is going to fight me over that because that's probably what she wants. But that would be, for me, what's going to kill WoW. So I want you guys to tell me what yours is going to be, and I'll hang up and listen. Peace out, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bijax.
Thank you, Bijax. That's awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Well,
Go ahead, Tess. You talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so
I've never
it
watched
would
Critical
be,
Role.
It would be, well, I mean, we already have Neverwinter, but I think what his point is he doesn't just want a D&D MMO. He wants because Critical Role is a D&D game that's a complete new world he created. So I think that's his point, and that'd be fun. That'd be fun as hell. Yes,
I think something like that could be that, though. I think it's creative.
And I want something more, because here's the other thing is that Neverwinter Nights is based off of 4E. It's not really based off of the new version of or it might even be 3.5. I can't remember, but so it'd be nice to have an updated D&D MMO that had that was more based off of 5e stuff. So yes, give me more D&D.
That's interesting. Militus, what is your MMO that would dethrone WoW?
Actually, it already has come out. It didn't live up.
WildStar.
It would be
pretty close.
WildStar. Yeah,
That was pretty close.
I think that if had WildStar actually stayed the course,
it was mismanaged
and developed the way it was supposed to develop, it would have slayed the beast that is WoW.
Yeah.
If they had stuck to like their pathways, like scientist, explorer, these like settler, build the world, like all these aspects, they were great. So my mind, it's a sci-fi.
Sci-fi be fun too, yeah. good
Although
sci-fi.
I'm gonna kind of make an amendment.
It's still fantasy.
On action based, and I think
the
at the time it was
action-based
all the
thing.
rage to do that.
Yeah.
It just wore my ass out to play it for
It did.
time.
It did.
So that in my mind would have been the thing that would have slayed WoW had it stayed the course.
I have a question because this is something that when Boom and I went to lunch today, he was talking about too. Is that the action combat? But Guild Wars was
It's
pretty actiony.
Yeah, it was.
What did you think about
it? Wore
that,
me out.
Milla?
It wore me out eventually.
It wasn't as taxing as WildStar. Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good combination of tab targeting and action combat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it was, too taxing. But again, I'm basing that on my experience on WildStar. WildStar was absolutely like Bijax is with us in chat. There were nights where I would play with Bijax. He, myself, a gamer named Ziotti, and a couple more. We would do dungeon runs together. And man, I'm telling you, my wife would look over at me at times and she's like, Are you okay? Because I would be so like
it was
intensely
stressful. Yeah.
Yes. It was super stressful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean you can go too far with it. I prefer I'm listening to all these big Twitch streamers right now test Mint WoW Classic. Because they're playing it, right? And they're like, I thought this was going to suck, but I like it. And they can't kind of figure out why they like it. Because on one hand, it's so slow compared to modern MMOs.
Right.
And it's everything I've been arguing for. And it's why I'm so drawn to Pantheon. Strategic, immersive gameplay where you can make decisions that matter in your rotation. And I think that's what Pantheon's shooting for. And that, you know, to me, that's what we have to get away from. We have to get away from this action, twitchy combat in MMOs. I think it works long term. I don't think it's great for the long term health of the game. I think it's kind of be more tab targeting, strategic gameplay, and that's what it sounds to me like. That's what Pantheon is shooting.
I agree. That's a really good point. You know what? I'm a little bit excited about, and I texted you guys about this. It's actually in development. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a Magic the Gathering MMO currently.
I heard that. Yeah.
And if I were to say one thing has the potential, I don't know that they're going to do it by Jax. I don't have a lot of faith in sometimes what Magic the Gathering does, but as far as having the background and the just awesome idea, Magic the Gathering has it. I just want to tell anybody who's listening to the show.
So I bet they would steal a lot of because they've already done it with D&D.
A lot of people.
So in D&D just now, this was about this is just about a month ago or so, maybe 2 months ago. They started pulling in Planeswalkers stuff into D&D and releasing books about modding Magic lore and Magic stuff into your D&D 5e
One
game.
of the very best books I've ever read is the very first Magic the Gathering book. And I tell everybody, just pick that up and read it. It is awesome. It talks about how the whole thing kind of plays out and why the cards are what they are and everything. It is absolutely awesome. And I'm so inspired by it. Even to this day, I think about that book and I think about how that could play out into a game, and it could be awesome. It's just whether or not people can, like, you know, these game designers, are they going to follow these carrots of these Twitches, you know, these shooters and all this crazy stuff that's out there, or are they going to be like, let's make a really great game? Let's take our lore and make the appropriate game for it. Because if they ever did that, Magic the Gathering has the mojo. They could
huge following. Yeah, huge following.
And I'm one of those ones. I love Magic the Gathering. I played so much Magic the Gathering, I can't even tell you guys. I played the online game, the old school one on the really crappy formatted computer version. I played that. Like, it was insane. I was in a group that we played every Sunday. Every single Sunday, I played tournaments of that game. And I can really tell you that thing has the ability to take on that market. But if they turn it into a Twitch-based action combat, this, that, and the other, it just kind of flies away, right? It's got to be... you have to be tab targeting. You got to be certain things. You got to pull in certain elements of that, and I hope they do, because it would really freak me out. You know, the other thing,
when we're talking about this,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Boom. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to go ahead and say the other thing. I tweeted this out even, and Tess just posted it in chat. The other franchise I think that could do it is if you have watched the previews for the Dark Crystal show on Netflix.
Yes.
Cannot
Oh
wait.
my god. Yes.
Okay.
That
listen.
Dark Crystal could be an MMO that would
So
absolutely capture my
amazing.
imagination.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
I want weird things at every turn. I want monsters I've never seen. I want crazy creations that I've never thought of. And that's what Dark Crystal is. It's full of that. Full of it.
And by the way, if you're under the age of 30 and listening to this right now, and you have not watched Dark Crystal, I weep for your childhood. There were I will never forget, my parents came home when I was like 6, and they were like, "We got this new thing. It's called a VCR." And we went to the video rental place and we rented 4 movies that to this day are like my all-time favorite movies. Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, Flight of the Navigator, and The Never-Ending Story.
Okay, your parents, let me just stop right here. Were cool as hell. Of course, I knew that already because I know Mama Tess.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they picked those 4 films,
No,
you're
we got
lucky
to
as hell.
we got to pick them.
Oh, okay. I'm saying,
You know,
but if they picked
but
those 4 films,
If they were actually cool, because you don't understand, every single time we went, I would rent the same 4 films. They would have just bought the damn things.
I know.
Right.
You think about how much you spent on renting those things
We
back in the day.
rented them over and over and over and over. Never ending story.
I want to
love
make
it.
one point, and it's very cheesy, but it kept coming to my mind every time I was listening to you and Boom talk.
Mhm.
And it's very cheesy, but it comes from Kevin Costner in that movie, baseball movie, Field of Dreams. It's like, just build it and we will come.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, if you build a community-centric game, and this is the part, I'm going to be honest with everyone in the chat right now, that scares me the absolute most about Pantheon. I made this point on this podcast multiple times, but I say it again right here, right now. When they get nervous because big Twitch streamers criticize their graphics, that makes me
for sure
super nervous.
Yeah.
And here's why. I don't care about those Twitch streamers. They have a different community. They have a different desire. What I want is a solid game with solid community. Doesn't have to have the greatest graphics in the world. You build that, I will come with my fat wallet, well, moderately fat wallet, and I will throw money at your.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of us like you and Tess and Bijax and Desrop and Nathan, and I can go on and on and on and on about different people in this chat right now that will throw money and say, we want that. That's what we want. You build that, we will come. We will support you. We will be everything you need to stay afloat as a company. Don't fall prey to this narrative that you have to build this beautiful game ever for it to work. Because that's not, at the end of the day, all of us in chat and the 2 of you have played beautiful MMOs that horrible, period.
Yeah.
They look great, but they sucked for community building, and they sucked in mechanics, sucked in all great things that make a good, solid MMO. So I pray Visionary Realms will kind of listen to this and think about this going forward. And going to Bijack's original question, build a solid game, build good systems that are proven, and we will come. We will pay. We will support you. Sorry for the rant.
All of the great...
I love you, Milla.
There you go. All of the great...
Even if you're a big fatty.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
I have to go to a corner and cry. Thanks, Tess.
You're not a fatty. Oh, my God.
I can't even get my stuff out. All of the greatest people throughout history had one thing in common, and that's that they had a grandiose vision that they took on, and they went ahead and went for it. And I just want to encourage Pantheon to go for it. Like, dream big. Don't try to cater to
us,
small-minded
or
people.
the person next to us.
I mean,
or, yeah.
We're
or
only
the
thinking
vocal minority, or the big Twitch streamer.
But we're only
like Boom
thinking,
said, build a game that's fun. Build a game that's fun.
We're thinking very small contextually because that's all we know. We know what WoW is. We know what all these other things are. We know things that we've enjoyed, things that we've played. But to really have an amazing game, you have to come up with stuff that I didn't even know I couldn't do without. Right?
Yeah.
I have to know that I couldn't do without this thing. And that comes from having that just like exploratory, scientific, just like, I am going to solve the biggest problem of gaming kind of mentality. And I want them to go for it. Like, go for it, man.
One of the things that they're doing that I am super excited about is the living codex stuff.
Yeah, I am
where
too.
you can like morph your spells based on what you experience in the game, and you can go out and explore things and learn new adjustments to your spell. So like your fireball spell and my fireball spell might be different. Like maybe yours has the larger AoE radius, or maybe mine has like spell penetration or something like that.
Tess, to prove that point, exactly what you're talking about. Let me tell you. So last night before, I'm playing Warcraft, right? And I run into a player I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? You know, what's going on? I haven't seen you in like a year." And they're like, "Hey, Militus, good to see you." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Hey, I see you're playing your walk," and so we run a dungeon together. And I'm like, "What are you playing? What spec you playing?" And he said, "Is that really a question?"
Exactly.
I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'm playing Destruction." Well, what do you
That's
mean?
what
Is that
you
a
have to
question?
play. Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, "Dude, do you see my green Felfire? Do you see my Felfire? That ain't no shitty red fire. That's Felfire, bruh. I earned that shit. I worked hard to get I had to do that Felfire quest so that my animations, my spells test, as you mentioned, they look different than other people's. So even though he was saying, it's like, it might not be the meta, but for me, it's that meaningful because I earned it back in the day. I earned that green fire. And so I will always play Destruction because of that. I'm like, oh,
yeah, sorry, dude.
Sorry, bro. To offend your warlock greatness, I just didn't know what you were playing. So that kind of reminded me of what we're talking about, Tess.
Yeah.
Earning different kind of animations or the way your characters cast and spells. And I think that would be really cool in Pantheon as well.
Yeah. So that's what they're kind of talking about with that living codex stuff.
Since Pantheon is working on luring some sort of a major investor and they don't talk to us anymore, we don't really have any news.
Well, if you stop tweeting them about Google Cloud and
man,
we have phones.
So the thing, we have phones. We have phones. That's right, ladies. And, you spoke too soon about the Dell. If you have a Dell computer, you're going to Tennessee this summer. If you think Dollywood is the greatest place on earth, you might be in Tennessee. And if you're Boom, you just long to go back to Tennessee because, Militus, you may not know this about me, but one of the things, I competed in the National Bowling Tournament in Knoxville, Tennessee, several years ago. It's a fascinating thing. I'm a big bowler. People probably don't know that. They make you parade out before the bowling tournament starts. So I was at the big conference center in Knoxville. They paraded me out. Got my bowling ball. It's just exactly like that movie with Woody Harrelson in it, Kingpin. It's exactly that movie.
I love that movie.
I hate that movie. I have lived that movie.
I hate that movie.
I have lived that movie.
Did you leave the flossing scene? Did you do that where you like flicked big pieces of meat onto the?
Yeah, it's all true. Everything in that movie is true. And I have competed again on the national stage in bowling. So there you have it. So Militus, take us away on Reddit. I think my Reddit post was the biggest of the week, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, we'll get to the Reddit post, but first I have to just say that Boom gets here, for all the listeners, we will have photos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We will have photos.
I am remaking.
and drinking the
Yeah.
mead together.
I'm remaking the photo of Breaking Bad. Do you know the one where he's got the gun and he's standing by the RV?
He's got the gun.
I am actually remaking that. I have got the exact shirt he wears. I'm getting the tighty whities, the whole bit. And we're going to, my wife is very excited about this. We are going to remake me in that picture, holding the gun, doing the whole thing.
Nice.
It's gonna
just don't do
Bad.
it in my front yard. Any other place you want to create that photo, I think
that's where we were planning on doing
fantastic. But my neighbors might have a slight problem with that.
You think? I don't know. I am only.
Well, my
50%
neighbors are
body
from
fat.
Tennessee, so
yeah,
they
they'll be
might
fine
feel
with
just
it. They'll be fine with it.
Well, for this week's Reddit post, I actually don't have a post. But I have a hot sports take slash rant that even Def would be proud of. Are you guys ready for this rant?
I am ready. Go for it.
Bring it.
Okay. So let's start off with why I'm ranting.
Okay.
This week, Tess was a part of this, but this was facilitated and created by Minus over at Pantheon Plus. Minus had this idea of creating a community-driven video where community members would say, I am Pantheon, get whatever. He kind of gave people creative freedom to to do this. And I feel really bad I wasn't part of it. He asked me to, and I was just slow to respond. But Tess, I'm glad I didn't. And I'm just sorry to everyone else who took part of it because Tess totally stole the entire show.
She stole the show.
No, I did not.
Which is why,
Yes.
in
Hers is
hindsight,
yours.
I'm glad I didn't take part.
Exactly. Me too. I feel
would
the
have made
same
me
way.
look like shit. So I'm glad.
Everybody was hilarious.
Okay.
But and listeners, if you haven't seen it, we'll put a link up to it. But basically, like Militus is saying, everybody said, "I am Pantheon," and then people were given a class and they like talked about I'm a paladin. I do these things.
It was a
I'm
great thing Minus did for the community. Huge deal.
Huge.
Big props to him. That was amazing.
And Def's in chat with us. That Def did the warrior
So
thing,
funny.
which he did really
so
awesome.
funny. I
And
loved
everyone
it.
was great. But so Minus, in typical fashion, Minus tweets this video out. And by the way, on YouTube, this video did phenomenally.
Yeah,
like
it did really
it got thousands of views.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Which is cool. But then he made the whole mistake of posting it to Reddit.
Yeah.
And
the
so I
cesspool
happened,
of the internet. Yes.
Yeah, I go out to Reddit as I do every post. And I'm looking at the post, I'm trying to find something good to talk about in the show this week. And I see Minus's post. So I start reading the threads. And I thought, nope, I'm not doing a Reddit post this week because Reddit, our subreddit, Pantheon, doesn't deserve a Reddit this week. And let me tell you why you don't deserve a Reddit this week. Because you're a bunch of assholes. That's why. Because I'm reading through your comments, and here's what I keep hearing. Oh, that was, and this comes from, I'm not going to call you out by name. Some of these come from the very moderators of the Reddit thread. The good video, except it's just cringy. Oh, I made it through that cringe fest. Oh, videos. Listen, man. Listen, everyone on Reddit, listen for a second. Minus put that out to make you smile, to make you happy, to make you laugh. We have a long wait for this game. We're all in this together. I see all these people in the chat that I see every week. Doom, Zoltar, That's Rob, all these people, Bijax, all these great Def, all these great community members.
Yeah, wonderful.
Listen, we're all waiting together, man. We're all waiting. We want to play the game, but we can't play the game. So someone like Minus goes out of his way to take his time to produce something that would make you laugh, make you smile. And my friends like Tess and Def and other people, they take their time out of their day. They create a little skit. They record it. They have fun. and then you want to like shit on it because you think it's cringeworthy.
It's supposed to
You're
be funny.
Cringeworthy, dude. Don't take everything so seriously. Laugh, drink a beer. I don't know. Live life. Have fun.
Really, just stop.
Freaking shit. Do
For sure.
something other than just say everything is cringeworthy, man.
This is
Just,
why I
like,
miss the
live your
80s.
life.
The 80s were about
don't
partying.
even know.
The 80s were about partying, and we've gotten rid of that.
If someone's gonna
everything is
shit
so
on,
bad. Yeah, it's so bad.
what would make you happy? Like literally,
Nothing.
If you're gonna shit on
Nothing
that.
would
What
make
would
them
make you happy?
Nothing. Nothing would make them happy.
So my Reddit post this week is you don't get one because it's too cringy. I'm sorry. I would bring you a Reddit post this week, but it's too cringe, and your posts are cringy. So I decided not to bring a Reddit post this week. Reddit, do better. When we come back, offer a break. Take this break to like self-reflect and think, and I don't know, smoke
I
some
wish I
weed.
could
Do
say
something,
Reddit's
man.
gonna do
Just
that.
chill out.
Reddit
Chillax,
is
and-
it's just the most icy of the internet. It's just a treacherous hive of scum and villainy. I don't understand what's going
but
on.
here's
there.
the thing. Here's what I don't get, dude. I actually like Reddit. I really do. I like it as a
I've never
platform.
liked
don't
any
like
Reddits ever.
No, I do
Can't
like it.
stand
I like the idea of Reddit. It's just
You
the
know,
people
it
that
doesn't-
want to shit on stuff.
It doesn't
that
work
gets me
because
so crazy.
It doesn't work though because of perceived anonymity. Perceived anonymity ruins the internet. It always does. People think, "Hey, I'm anonymous, so I can be a jerk," and they're just channeling their inner feelings and just kind of like.
But boom,
they're kind
even
of
the
treating it as
moderator,
therapy,
dude,
and it's stupid.
even the moderator says
Yeah,
this.
It's stupid. Well,
And that's
Come
why
on,
you'll
man.
never ever catch me on Reddit ever, never, ever.
That's dumb.
You're better
Because-
than that, dude.
That's dumb.
I'll say
That's
this,
dumb.
moderator, you're better than that. Come on, and I know this moderator listens to our podcast,
Yeah, he comes
Back.
on every once in a while.
and I'm just gonna say, dude, you're better than that. Support
man.
each other. We're in this thing together. We're waiting together. Just chillax, man.
And
And what kind of
fun.
community? What kind
let
of
people
community
do stuff.
are you wanting
Just
to?
let people
yeah.
do things. Yeah, this is something was important to Minus. This is something he believed in. He wanted to do. Just treat it like that. Like it's just that. It doesn't matter what
don't
anybody else
know.
thinks. It's just that. It's a thing that he wanted to do, and he did it for other people that feel the same way, and those people are appreciative of it, and those people get to have that. Everybody else can just. You don't need to worry about it. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. You don't have to say anything about it. Just chill out. You know.
No doubt, that's a good point. Like you could have watched the video, and even if you didn't care for,
Yeah, just
didn't have to shit
move
on
on, man.
you,
Just
you
move
could
on.
just moved on.
Yeah.
You could have moved on. How many videos do I watch on YouTube? And all of us do.
Yeah.
I started 5 minutes into it. I'm like, not for
This
me.
isn't my
Not
thing.
that I want to go in the
Yeah.
comment section and say, you should go kill
You should-
yourself. You're
yeah,
a horrible
go-
human being.
Go
Like,
die.
I would never
Yeah, I
do
know.
Well,
that.
and I
Ever.
think that's the number one thing, and I've been saying this forever. The number one thing that everybody forgets the moment, not everybody, but all these people, and I really hate to use that term because there's not a shred of humanity in some of them, but these people, I'm like, who? I know my mother taught me that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So if you're not going to say something nice, or if you don't have a point to make, then what the hell are you doing? You're just spewing your vitriol.
Yeah,
And
and
it
you
just
know
makes
what?
me angry.
I always laugh because I'm just like, let people have their thoughts and opinions. Just let them have them. Like,
Where's
it's
Day
okay.
with his shame? Where
Yeah,
Day?
shame. Yeah,
We
where's
need
Day?
you. Shame.
I'm like,
shame.
No, he's shaming me for being 26% body fat.
Yeah,
and
that's
no,
a shame.
I take that back. Day didn't do that to me. He shamed me for playing WoW, and so did Bijax. Both of them
But
did.
it's okay to have an opinion, and it's okay to be a certain thing, and it's okay to do stuff like that. But it's questionable for you to then decide that you want to take that thrill or that joy away from somebody else. That it's just like,
Hey,
it's
I
like,
just
why
want to say
do
to Minus, it made me laugh. I loved it.
It made me laugh, and I had
It
so
made
much
me
fun
happy,
making it.
and it made me realize. No, it didn't make me realize. It just further confirmed that I'm part of the perfect community of people. Because as nerdy as it was, and as funny as it was, I can relate to every single one of the people in the video, and it just confirmed to me, hey, Militus, you're in the right place. Like, you're in the right community. You're gonna be playing the right kind of game with the right person, right people. Perfect. You're good, man. You're absolutely good. So
I agree.
It was fun.
I agree totally. Well, on that note, it's time to get soft and my computer to pause.
The Dell got soft. The arousal.
Hey, my Dell is so soft, but just remember this, guys. After tomorrow, my Dell will be playing games in full 8K resolution. So you guys can all bite it. All right. This Dell is going to be a gaming masterpiece in the future. So suck it. All right.
Now, Desroth is bringing up a pretty good point. We don't see any kind of phallic image on the screen.
I've really done a bad job with that. There's some shake weights. And I'll do that little guy there. There we go. And I've got the rock wall. I'm gonna just put the rock wall up here too. There we go.
You're just going over the top of my.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
We got some penises. We've got some shake weighting. This is everything that could be soft. That's all the soft I've got.
Oh my god. We're good.
Yeah, that's just soft.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much softer than this, does it?
No. It's pretty good.
And then Jess.
This is why VR will not talk to us. I just want everyone to realize. It's this point of the show that they go, not going to talk to Boom, Militus, or Tess. Nope.
It's all good. I don't really care.
VR, I'm trying to get them to stop, but they don't stop.
You know what?
Okay,
because
so
here's the thing. I am me. End of story. This that you see.
Weights.
So
those are funny.
Boom is Boom. I am this way. This is me in real life. This is who I am. I am just this guy. This is me.
I'm pretty sure I'm the guy in the second in the green shirt. I'm pretty sure that's me.
Oh my god.
I saw my body fat percentage.
Stop it. Okay, so this week, as we already mentioned, we had the We Are Pantheon video from Pantheon Plus. Absolutely awesome. Please, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It is hilarious, it's sweet, and makes you go, aw, it's adorable. Please check it out. And then Nathan Napalm had a hilarious video this week called Launch Day Prediction.
Oh,
and
really
it is
funny.
so funny.
And that's the one I saw last week, and I mentioned that, but it was really good. Yeah.
It was so funny. It was it's all about how it's launch day and it's the end of the world. It's so funny. It's hilarious. You gotta go check it out, guys. So that was our getting soft with the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So soft.
So soft. I don't even feel like doing that today. I'm in a bad mood, so I don't even feel like being soft.
Oh, you're about to be on a big trip across the country. You should be
I know,
in a good
but
mood.
I know, but the dentist did me. Like he really.
Oh
into
yeah,
me, man.
that's true.
He treated me bad.
Yeah.
The only thing that's helping is this mead that I've drank most of.
So hold on, you were supposed to save that shit for me. What are you doing?
I have a whole bunch of bottles of it. We're good.
All right, good.
I haven't even gotten any of this.
Oh,
No,
what?
you haven't.
And you had lunch with him today.
You know, and so
He
what's
doesn't bring
fun
me
is
anything.
when we get back from the trip, we're gonna make double batches. We've decided we're so good at making mead, we're just gonna make lots of it.
Well, make sure that you and I both survive the batches that you did create first.
Oh,
You're gonna go
Then
blind.
Oh no,
honey,
no!
Hey, honey, I'll go
this
blind
is
for an entirely different reason. Trust me.
Yeah. Woo! Militus is going blind. That's gonna be the
I should
title
have
of
been
this
blind
episode.
decades ago. I'm just gonna say that right now. Yeah.
All right. right. Well, so is that all of the? Is that everything that we have as far as that it goes for Getting Soft?
Well, I just gotta say, man, what an awesome chat we had tonight.
It was great.
They
Wow,
were
they were
amazing.
in.
We had so many people here, and we had things like phone calls from Bijacks and all this different stuff that was going on.
Best show ever.
It was pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
We talked about Pantheon. We talked about D&D.
Yeah.
Those are the
And
things
listen,
I care.
we didn't have any news this week from VR, and we still made this like one of the best shows.
It was good. So, ladies and gentlemen, just remember that we will not be here next week. I am going to be in the RV. I don't know. Maybe we will get a show out. Militus, Tess, and I have talked about maybe there being a show from Tennessee. We don't know. We can't tell. We don't know what the future holds, but we do know that we'll be back as soon as we can. And when we're back, we're going to talk about stuff. We do know that.
Well, and we know too, Boom, don't we know that we'll definitely be tweeting stuff out? So, like, if there is going to be a show,
oh my gosh!
when
If
Boom
you want to
gets here,
see, follow my Twitter if you want to be enthralled in hilarity, because I am actually documenting every part of this road trip. It's going to be amazing.
He's gonna live tweet 6 weeks.
6 weeks of live tweeting fun from the RV. Like, if I get bit by a snake, you're gonna know it, right? I had a dream that I got attacked by 4 alligators. I took 2 of them down with my pocket knife. The third one took a chunk of my leg and got away. I have vowed to make boots out of that one. So when I go to the swamps of Louisiana, I am killing an alligator if I get the chance.
Oh,
so
so
this
we're
could be
gonna
part of
see
it.
Boom on the news in jail.
Yeah.
For animal cruelty.
That's fine. I'm going to kill that alligator. And if I go to jail for it, tough crap. He shouldn't have messed with me in my dreams. That's what I'm saying. I want to thank Jeremy W. at oakproduction.com for the music that you hear now. And other than that, unless you guys have something, we're out.
Nope.
Peace out. See you soon, everybody. In the meantime, play Guild Wars 2. Listen to our show. Go have a blast. I promise, if you follow along with that, you're going to have so much fun.
Pantheon Plus Community Game Night, Tuesdays, Tess, 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Eastern.
Yes.
Do you guys
I
do
think
that
this
naked?
week-
I think they do that naked.
Yeah, Tess did. I know Tess did.
I think this week is gonna be Monster Hunter. I got nothing.
Boobies.
My mother-in-law is in the next room, and I'm fairly convinced she's horrified at this point after listening to it.
Boobies.